Rabbi Eberstein. A driving force in my own life is thinking about the Mokem Sheinish, to step up when other people don't see the need or the opportunity, or perhaps don't have the skill. And that's something that I learned from both my parents, but especially from my father. It's something I try and instill in my children and my students. And it's something I'll forever be grateful to you, Daddy, for teaching me. I was fortunate to travel early this summer with a group of 34 students and trying to convey that to them, and I think with some success, and maybe they in turn will convey it to others too. But I know even from afar, as the Rav just mentioned, just how dedicated you were. In fact, I remember the thrill. I don't know, you were always so modest, but I don't know to what extent you were involved in kind of the hiring committee and what type of committee, and I try and stay off committees. But how thrilled you were knowing that I had known Rabbi Halberstadt from Karen Bianca as one of the top Rachim back in those days, and how thrilled you were to be able finally to announce. I think you had to keep it hidden for a while until it was official, but to be able to announce that. And that was just one of so many ways you were involved with the shul in big and small ways, and with so many other things. Things that I think for most of us, we really had no idea. We were thinking that you were maybe getting to spend a little bit more time in your armchair reading the science journals, but instead you were out there doing quiet effort for others. And I want to, as we're surrounded by neighbors and friends and community members, to extend my deep thanks on behalf of the family, because as much as I think you did for them, they did so much for you, and I don't want that. I want to extend my thanks, and there's something perhaps feeling a little bit of an absent child, to thank them, each of them, for the way that they supported and checked in with you. My middle son, Lev, every time he comes home, I wasn't quite sure where he got this from until thinking about it today. But he asked me, what can I do to help? What can I do to help you? And I don't know whether that means he sees me stressed out every day or what it is, but he has this idea that there's something out there that needs some help that needs to be given, and if he can spend a few minutes, then he offers that. And I think that's something that he got from you, and I think there's something in each of the grandchildren that they got from you. In America, we are big on show and tell, and I'm not going to show items, although they're right behind us in the living room. But one of the things that, among the many things I mentioned, the science journals, and there was plenty of Torah journals and the Federation newsletter, and many articles at the intersection of science and halacha, right by your favorite armchair. I'm also thinking of the shofar there on the mantelpiece. Of course, it's hard not to think of the shofar during Elul, but one of my early memories is of holidays exactly this time of year in the British countryside, and that we always knew it was Elul. We might be far away from Golders Green, we might be far away from a shul, but you'd bring the shofar with, and when you finish davening, you'd blow the shofar, and so we would always know it was Elul, and I'm very proud, and I know that you were very proud of your oldest grandchild, my eldest, Akiva, who, as soon as he became Bar Mitzvah, he learned how to blow shofar, and he blew for our community, that very, very first opportunity that he had to do something for the tzibur. As I think about Yom Kippur and Sukkot, I'm just reminding of two stories, which some of which my younger siblings may know, some not, so I share it for them as much as for you, and as a reminder, and for everybody. One year you were on your travels, I think to the west coast of America, and somewhere in California. I don't know exactly where it was, and it was a few days, you had a conference a few days leading up to Yom Kippur, and so the question was, do you cut short the conference? It's a long way to go for just 3 days. Do you cut short and try and make it home in time for Yom Kippur? I remember year in, year out, davening next to you and Masjid Yadas. And, or do you try and catch that last day of the conference? But obviously there wouldn't be time to get home for Yom Kippur. So the choice you made also sticks with me in the way I think sometimes about travels that I've made, and you decide to look up the closest shul there, which was a couple of miles away. And you walked on Yom Kippur, I guess, a couple of times backwards and forwards in your kittel, probably in the heat, and in your talis, and walked into shul. And it was a small shul, a small minyan, and when you walked in with your talis and your kittel, I remember you telling us that they thought Eliyahu Hanavi had come through their door, and they said, can you do Kol Nidre? Can you do Musaf, Shachas? They wanted you to do all the time. I don't think you were accepted all of those opportunities, but some of them. I'm sure Master Yona, I don't remember, but one of the conversations I remember well, looking again of kind of artifacts and unique skills that my father had, was to read the Haftorah. And in Masjid Yadas, that's no small feat. There's only, I think, a few shuls left in the world that still have the tradition to read from a class.